Hello, I'm Sam, and today I'd like to share a perspective on non duality. These are but my subjective thoughts on the topic, but I do believe considering these thoughts can help expand the mind. So maybe consider them for a moment. When the question of whether we have free will arises, I like to ask, are you consciously choosing who you are at every moment? Do you choose every reaction you have in your life? Do you choose every thought that reaches your mind? Probably not. And not just you, all of us don't. There is a part of the mind that automatically chooses the way we perceive the world and how we react to it. That part is called the ego. The internal dialogue in our minds is just a program running by default, dictating our personality based on thoughts and behaviors of the past. It automatically closes our minds to what we have come to believe reality is and isn't. Might this not be a limiting perspective to have in a universe of infinite possibilities? Even if it were finite, not being able to fathom anything in a mind that could touch infinity seems like a grand limitation to me. This means there are barriers in our minds that block it from being able to think in any way possible because of what we've come to believe. Limiting beliefs like, I am too old or too young, I am ugly, I am always broke and will never make enough money, I don't deserve wealth or happiness. Or even beliefs that generalize things like people are untrustworthy, a certain race of people is inferior, the world is miserable, that reality is one way and every other way is wrong. This is the opposite of freedom, as you are constrained to these mental barriers and can no longer think in every and any direction. You should know, because you weren't always so limited before. You started out in this world as a blank slate, a mind of nothingness, able to take in everything, an openness that allowed your mind to imagine anything possible. But as your parents, environment, and experiences began to shape your perception of the world, your mind began closing itself into a box of what you know and believe reality to be. And as you grew, your mind would begin automatically judging what is right, what is wrong, what you like, what you don't like, what you do, what you don't do, how you think, and how you don't think. From here on out, you developed a consistent personality, being more of this or less of that. Dualities that would always define you. For you are just as defined by what's outside your comfort zone than by what's inside of it. And so there is always an inner conflict with what you disagree with, deem as wrong, or are afraid of. Whenever you come across one of these things, your mind automatically reacts with discomfort. This is partly why you can rarely choose how you would like to feel. Many of your emotional triggers are predetermined by the belief system you have developed over time. A belief system managed by your ego that processes random thoughts in your mind that you automatically identify with as if you consciously thought them up. Thoughts based on memories of the past and desires of the future, often thoughts of worry or sorrow, or thoughts that judge the world around you, distracting you from the present moment and where reality just is. No right, no wrong. Just a neutral isness where everything is essentially undefined. As Lao Tzu would say, when people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Before and after follow each other. Difficult and easy support each other. High and low depend on each other. The yin is the yang, and the yang is the yin. You can't define one without the other. So to see the bigger picture is to see that it is all one. Non-duality is to be one with the essence, which is non-judging and at peace with all that is. The non-dual state of mind is present here and now, does not automatically judge, and has the ability to choose what to think and what to feel. It is free. Being dual, as we are now, is to automatically judge the world in ways that makes you at odds with certain parts of it, accepting only some parts of the world and rejecting others. Duality is conflicting by nature and is a state of being we tend to become stuck in for the rest of our lives. Now, what if I told you that you are still the blank slate that came into this world? That you are infinite potential, a consistent probability, the mind like infinite clay that can be molded in any shape you intend. This is true mental freedom. But we are stuck in the clay that we have molded and come to believe that we are this clay, like an actor coming to believe the mask is his real face. No, you don't have a real face. Your face is ever changing, open to all possibilities, and through them define yourself anew in every moment, or not define yourself at all. You can just be, exist, and be one with all of life as it is now, rather than one with thoughts that close you into the predetermined and linear world in your head. You can have choice over your own mind, rather than have the ego choose for you. This is wholeness and true happiness at its core. To reach this is a process. It is a long and arduous journey. And all you must begin to do is pay more attention to the present moment. Follow your breath. Stay aware of what is happening. And observe your mind as if it were a friend. Listen to it attentively. Be aware. And while being aware and observing your mind, understand that everything is but a possibility. Every perception that arises is a maybe in an ever-expanding universe from which every person, being, animal, or other organic life perceives it a different way. We can't know anything to be 100% true because we are limited to only one perspective and can't perceive reality from every single angle and in every single possible way. So instead of taking ideas or thoughts as fact or completely false, consider them as possibilities, as maybes or even most likelies, because now Whatever thoughts arise in your mind that judge people or the world will become subjective and won't dictate your reality. Your mind will be left open to all possibilities. And so you'll have no conflict. It can always be at peace with everything. Through understanding this, your mind can begin to break away from the patterns that objectively define you and the world. And as you observe those patterns that automatically judge the world, you will also observe the patterns of desire. Patterns that pull you into one thing or another. Observe this pulling. Observe how desire emphasizes a lack of having. Observe how the ego chooses what you desire, pulling you in specific directions without you having any choice in the matter. Understand, you aren't these desires. Desire is seeking that which is not present now. It is disconnecting you further from the present, where you are essentially connected to everything, and therefore feel that you have everything. The state of no desire is an abundant state of being that draws in what you might desire without the endless seeking. This might seem impossible to grasp for now, but the more you observe the patterns of desire, the clearer it becomes. You'll clearly see how desires disconnect you from what is now and any lasting feeling of fulfillment. You'll see how they override your awareness and aren't even consciously chosen by you. So let go. Be free of the pulling that controls your being. And through breaking away from these patterns of thought, you'll begin to separate your consciousness from the ego and no longer identify with the thoughts. You'll begin to see the illusion of self and disassociate from all the patterns to the point where your mind is free and able to forever create new ones, steering the wheel of your mind rather than being steered. And through this awareness, grow more connected to what is here and now in the present moment, where you can finally be at peace and in control and not have to ever depend on anything for it. For it shall be your natural state of being. I believe this to be the end of suffering and beginning of freedom in this journey we call life. Thanks for listening and considering the ideas presented in this video. I understand the difficulty in becoming present and silencing the mind, so I will be making a follow-up video on an advanced pranayama technique that I believe can be very helpful in silencing the mind and inducing trance. If you're interested in more videos like this one, I would suggest subscribing to Gaia, as they have a multitude of mind-expanding videos covering yoga, meditation, and all kinds of spiritual topics. It is a very useful resource to have in one's spiritual journey. Check out the link in the description. And thanks again. Hope you all have a nice day.